Okay, all you Batman fans out there, you are listening to the Night of the Batman, and this is Jim Starlin, who had a little bit to do with Batman along the way. Have a good one.
Hey, I'm Amanda.
That's not how we do this. It's, hey, this is Night of the Batman.
We can introduce ourselves and then go, and this is Night of the Batman.
Anyway, you can tell we haven't done this in a minute, but I'm Alex.
As I've already said, I'm Amanda, and
This
welcome
is-
to Night of the Batman.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so we are on the last issue of
Does it feel great to finally be here?
City of Owls. Yeah, I definitely like the first part more than I did this one. Okay, so I feel like I've said this 80,000 times, and I will continue to say, I'm just not an action girly. Like, I kind of think, like, fight scenes and actions action scenes are kind of boring. It's like, so, context, I'm a minor in history. I was one paper away from a double major, and then, COVID happened. Anyway, and I think that war history is the most boring crap. I do not care about battles. I do not care who won. I do not care about generals. What I care about is the socio-political stuff going behind the scenes, because that's what actually is important and like what matters. And like wars and people in wars are kind of used as pawns, and like it's so sad, but like also it is what it is. Like that has been a history for the entirety of humanity. And that's kind of how I feel about action scenes in movies and in media in general. And comics, I prefer the scenes where people are just like yapping and like exposition.
Yeah.
Okay. With that said, you want to
Yeah.
talk?
No, go ahead with your summary.
With that said, we open up on Bruce and Lincoln March / Thomas Wayne Jr., whatever you want to call him. Continuing
Tommy
their fight.
Boy, Tommy Jr.
TJ, if you will. TJ, not from Boy Meets World.
TJ from...
Because, Tommy, and then when he was in Girl Meets World, he was going by TJ when he helped run the campaign.
Oh.
And then he revealed himself, and, yeah, okay.
I got you.
Anyway, I digress. So yeah, they're fighting, and they're yapping, and, they're talking in circles, and, Bruce is like, yeah, I'm done playing nice, blah, 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 beat up. And then, Tommy Boy is, like, well, it's my turn now, beat up. Grappling hook, he throws Bruce out of a building, Bruce grappling hooks to him, he's like, oh, heck yeah, I'm gonna fly you around my part of Gotham and tell you what I used to see, and I'm gonna beat you up while I do it. So he does, and, talks crap the whole time. And it's just like, I saw this twisted mirror reflection of Gotham. My brother left me to rot. My brother forgot about me. Wham, wham, wham.
So you didn't feel... I'm not saying necessarily... I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're simplifying the dialogue. I thought the dialogue was pretty good.
I mean, it's not like the dialogue's bad. It's just, it feels so, like, cyclical. I feel like we've read the same conversation in the last issue. And, like, it's just...
You think they could have streamlined it more?
God, yes. It's like, it's cyclical. They're going back and forth. They're both saying the same thing to, like, to each other. Like, he's saying that he has evidence that he is Thomas Wayne Jr. He's saying that, like, he lived this, like, glass mirror, Black Mirror version.
Yeah, kind of like my favorite, like a cracked mirror.
That's the phrase I was looking for.
Of it.
I hate that phrase, and Alex uses it all the time. That's
why I was laughing.
I know.
Well, I know you know. I was saying it for theoretically for the people that are listening to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about how, he has lived this crack mirror version of Bruce's life, and how the court is who raised him. The court made him better. The court. And how Bruce ruined everything, and how Bruce had already left once, and they thought he was dead, and then he came back and ruined everything. Or is that later on? Anyway, at one point, he puts him in, like, the turbine engine part of a plane with, like, the little propellery thing.
Cool.
And Bruce is, like, holding on for dear life. Bruce put an explosive on him. Boom, boom. And then Bruce throws himself, and then he, like, grappling hooks again into his really tall building. Which building is that, by the way?
That's like his. You remember the building at the very beginning?
Yeah, but I don't remember the name.
Me either. It's just called the Tower in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go into the tower. They yap some more.
I like the shot of him. Since you guys can't see it, like the shot where Tommy is like carrying him, like kind of thing, and he's like, it kind of reminds me of earlier with like the Talons and stuff, where he looks all like helpless and everything, but this time he's got like the upper hand.
Like, okay, so I will say, like, the positioning is so good. Like, his feet look like a little kid.
Yeah.
You know, like the way that they're like angling and dangling, and like his knees being closer together. It looks very like, you know, like scared little kid.
And he looks like a demon. Like Tommy looks like a demon here because of the glowing eyes and everything.
Yeah, like that suit.
Yeah, like I like it. In the comics, there's an Owlman, and a lot of people have called like him. He's never called Owlman in this, but a lot of people have interpreted him as like, oh, it's like a cool like modern way of doing like the parallel universe like Owlman thing.
Also, since he's a Talon, Bruce gets to kill him and he's gonna come back. So, like, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I haven't read the further things with him in it, but also coincidentally, I'll bring this up. So Amanda in the past has like, and then we'll go back to the thing. Amanda in the past has really wanted to play Gotham Knights, and recently we got it, and so like even though we're kind of leaving our coverage of this, it's funny we can never fully escape the court because like right now we're both like playing that video game and it's really fun. But yeah.
Alex is much farther along than I am. The main reason I wanted it is because I get to play as Barbara Gordon, and that is like everything.
Not as Dick Grayson.
No, I don't want to be Dick Grayson. I want to be with Dick Grayson.
What? Anyway, let's get back to the summary.
They fight. The building gets blown up. Batman leaves him and like runs away, and Tommy Boy is just like, I'm always watching. Ha ha! And they can't find his body in the wreckage. So we get Bruce chilling in a wheelchair because he's big injured, with like this weird like glove, like robot-y thing on his hand.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's controlling the hologram, possibly, or maybe it's like...
Yeah, because it does change. Or, yeah, because that's definitely Bruce, and then that's Dick. Never mind. I thought it was like a medical thing, but I'm dumb. So, I'm not actually dumb, by the way. I say that in a very, like, offhanded sort of way.
No one thought you were dumb.
I know, but... I say it at work, and everybody's just like, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not. I'm like, okay.
Oh, oops. Yeah, anyway, sorry, guys. The microphone fell. But,
So, anyway, going. Yeah. So, Bruce is talking, and, so, boom! We get to see my boy.
Dick Grayson.
Yeah. And so he's talking, and he's like, I know you don't want to see anybody, but I'm here to use your computer. Such big, like, father-son energy, like, I'm mad at you, Dad, but I gotta do something at the house.
Yeah. Can I use your washing machine or something like that? Like same energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, no, I'm glad to see you. And I'm just like, oh, he loves his son. And Dick's like, well, you shouldn't be. Like, I gotta get you back for punching me in the face, and, you're looking pretty okay right now. And, he's, like, cracking his knuckles, and it's so funny. But he asked for an update first, and Bruce is like, I can't find them, but I'm still looking. He's like, they have such a deep maze, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to get rid of them altogether, though.
Yeah.
So, it's like, once again, his big little thing that he's never going to get over is the Court of Owls. You learn that all the Talons are, like, in, like, this cryo prison beneath Blackgate.
Yeah, self-funded by him, obviously. Yep. Big shock. But, yeah, and then we get, like, a nice,
The best part, so, like, I love, like, the, emotional moments.
Before that, though, he goes over, like, Lincoln March's claims.
I know, I was getting there.
Oh, my bad.
Because that's part of the emotional moment.
Yeah.
Like, because Dick Grayson is trying to be respectful because Bruce has always been really emotionally guarded because man needs therapy. He needs to willingly go to therapy and talk through his emotional problems because if you don't open up to people and you are just always emotionally guarded, it's not healthy. Anyway,
We love a man who doesn't take care of himself.
do I kin Bruce Wayne? No, I'm too poor.
I was mainly talking about me and not taking care of myself.
Yeah. So, you know, Bruce is like, Alfred told you about Lincoln, and Dick is like, yeah, I didn't want to pry though. So Bruce opens up and he talks about how he did have a brother who only lived 12 hours and he died and it was really bad, and how he doesn't think that his parents would have falsified documents, and he even went and checked, and like he doesn't think that there's a way, but he does know that his mom visited the hospital often, but she visited all of her charities often, and he can see how easy it was for the court to use that story and to use all of those like facts to plant this idea in Lincoln March's head.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, there's no way for me to know for sure without his DNA. So Bruce basically is just like, he's not okay with it, but he has to be to like keep the city safe. And then they have this like sweet little moment.
Yeah, but
Wait,
he
go ahead.
chooses to believe that like basically his parents like didn't do that kind of thing and didn't like falsify stuff because like it's one of those things where Bruce is very much one of those people that I feel like if he knew like something about them, like they did something behind his back, it might compromise like how dogged he is about like, you know, honoring their memory and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything that's gonna taint them, like he generally like resists and like doesn't want to look into it like that. Like that's like a consistent thing. But anyway, keep going.
So then he kind of segues and he's like, you know, that, because Dick talks about how it can be really noble to protect somebody you love by not telling them something that would hurt them. And, you know, Bruce like segues to talking about, you know, knowing that Dick was meant to be a Talon. And Dick goes to thank him and he's like, no, I'm not done. And he's basically like, I didn't save you from being a Talon. Like, I didn't save you. He's like, I saw something very special in you. He's like, and he's like, the Talon, he's like, the court did, but like I did too. He's like, and the truth is, like, you saved me from, like, a bad fate. He said that, like, Dick Grayson is the one who saved him, and that he is still saving him every day. And I'm just like...
That's a great moment.
Oh, God. It was peak. Batman can never get better than that. Telling his kids that he loves them and that they saved him. Peak.
Like speaking of Gotham Knights too, he has like a similar thing where he says like these great things about like Dick Grayson and everything. Like it's great stuff. Like I love seeing like because I know Batman struggles with it, but I love those moments. Like that's why I come back to Batman's not for like partially it's like the cool like his cool like world and everything, but it's like no, it's because I'm attached to the characters and like the characters how they're portrayed and you know stuff like that. Like if it was just punch all the time, it'd get boring after a while.
Yeah. And then, you know, Dick's like, well, now I can't hit you. I'll just have to wait till later and sneak attack. And Bruce is like, ha, you'll try. They talk then about, like, Bruce wanting to, like, invest more in Gotham and, like, rebuild the tower. And he's like, yeah, I'm building it taller. He's like, I was doing it partially for me so that I had more places to be Batman. He's like, that's wrong. He's like, it needs to be done for Gotham. He's like, Gotham isn't Batman. Gotham isn't the court. He's like, Gotham is all of us. It's, you know, everybody who's in Gotham is Gotham. Like, that's what makes Gotham Gotham.
Yeah.
And then Dick is like, well, I mean, he's a little bit Batman.
Yeah, I like that moment.
And then Bruce is like, well, you know, then Bruce goes to talk about the owl some more, and he's like, I'm always going to be watching. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to be protecting my city because it's his city. Obviously, I feel like in my summary, you can kind of tell the parts that I preferred, which is like the last what, like 7 pages?
I knew this was going to be a hard sell for you because I know you're not very like you don't like action, and like I thought maybe you'd like this a little bit more because there is some like character, at least information is being relayed. It's not just like them punching each other in a bunch of silent panels.
That's fair. I will say I think some of it's also the coloring. I don't really like the greenish grayish.
The coloring gets better later.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's bad art, because like it definitely like sets a mood. I don't like the mood it sets.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
if that makes sense.
The art the art's spectacular here, but it gets even better later on. Like the more Greg like draws this stuff.
Yeah.
Like it gets it just gets more refined and like even better looking.
I think that some of the like actual like the panels that I like, there's the there's the one where Batman is being dangled like a child.
Yeah, I like that too.
I absolutely hate this panel, but it's like really well done. The one where like Bruce is like shoving the fire into the Tommy Boy's eyes. And then I think it gets much more pretty when we shift back to the like inside of Wayne Manor.
Yeah, it's like, a bunch of warmer colors. I could see how you could like that.
Yeah. And even with like the use of like the blues and the greens, it's just the imagery isn't harsh and it's like aesthetically pleasing. It's nice to look at.
Yeah.
So, there's that. I do think the final panel is also really cool. It's just like it's like a close up of Bruce's eye. You can see where he has that like contact in that like gives all that information.
Oh, I didn't even pick that up. That's a good catch there. Because I was reading it digitally, so like I didn't necessarily notice that whenever I was going over it.
Yeah, and you see the reflection of Gotham in his pupil with like you see the little bat symbol and everything, and I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, overall, like it wasn't a bad issue. It wasn't the worst issue. I didn't have to continually turn a book, so I'm happy.
You're never gonna let that go, are you?
Oh no, I don't let anything go.
But yeah. So with this, I'm glad that we went over this. I'm glad that we're finally, that we finished this. One of the things I was going to say is that this is like one of his like highest rated stories that he did, and he got better as it went on at like ending his stories. Like not necessarily with this one, because this one ended all right. But, like, his endings got better later because, like, the thing with a lot of his stories is, like, the build-up, the middle part would be great, and then you'd get to the ending and you'd be like, that's it.
I love a good denouement, so I don't necessarily like that Lincoln March is still out there. But, like, I know Batman is one of those things that, like, it's going to continue forever, and so they want to leave untied threads so that way it can continue. It can be pulled on later and brought back up. I don't like that. I like things with like very like solid endings. I don't like stuff where like it's up to interpretation. It really annoys me because to me it feels like lazy writing for you to be like, well, you have to figure it out yourself. It's whatever you think. Like no. What?
That's just funny.
What? Like, do you disagree or do you agree?
It depends. Like sometimes because some people will just be like, oh, it's up to your interpretation. It's like, oh, well, you don't know where the story was going, so that's why you're saying that. And then other times it'd be like, okay, cool. Like say, like, with the end of The Giver, where, like, that's one of the ones I go to.
But, okay, however, semicolon, however, comma, space.
I wasn't done.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead, and then I'm going to tell you why The Giver is a bad example of that.
If you're only taking the first book by itself without like considering any of the other context from the other books, which how it originally was before they made sequels, was that it's kind of open to your interpretation what happens to Jonas. Is it at the
it's Jonas?
Yeah, and the baby at the end of the thing.
Okay, but then Lois Lowry was like, you know what? I should continue this. You know what? I should give this a nice, neat little bow, and she did because she's smart.
No, it's because she wanted more money. But
No, it's because she's smart. Like all four of the books are really good.
I haven't read the other ones. I just read the first one.
Gathering Blue was amazing.
I'll have to take your word for it. I'll probably read them eventually. But yeah. So anyway, looping back, another person that struggles with ending is Stephen King, and like he worked with him with American Vampire and stuff, which was just like, that's just a tangent. This is something I thought to bring up. But yeah, like his endings get better later. He does like a pretty good Riddler story called 0 Year that is a bit divisive. Some people like it, some people don't. We might cover more Scott Snyder stuff in the future. It just depends on if like a particular series I feel like would be something that would appeal to you. But like this was a fun and I think I started you out with like a really good one, so they're not all gonna be like A pluses like in for your standards. For me, like I like a lot of different kinds of Batman, but for you might not like everything we go over. But I think this is a good like strong start. I'm glad we're finally done with our coverage, just so we can start doing something else.
So instead of doing issue by issue, are we gonna do like story by story going forward?
We can do story by story.
Because
that's probably a better idea.
Well, because, like, I can, like, read, like, a compilation or, like, a graphic novel in, like, an hour or so.
Yeah. And then also, on, like, a side tangent, pretty soon, we're not wrapping up yet, but I'm just bringing this up while I'm thinking about it. Pretty soon we're going to have Jacob Edgar back on the show, and he's going to talk about some of his new projects, so that's going to be great. And then
that's when my co-host does his own little interviews, because I get weirded out talking to people I don't know.
No offense, Jacob, you're cool.
Oh, no,
if you're listening to this.
I'm sure you are a wonderful human being. I'm just extremely socially awkward. And, like, last time we had guests on, I was super, and, like, I was on it. I was extremely anxious. And, like, they were wonderful people, but, like, I was so anxious, and I did not like that. And I was not very nice to my husband leading up to it, so.
I didn't have to tell people that, but, anyway, I don't even remember what you're referring to. But, yeah, anyway, so, like, I really like this final issue. This arc still holds up for me. Did you like it as your first like completed arc of like a Batman thing that you've read?
It's not.
What was the other thing you read?
We read Batman Imposter in its entirety before I completed this.
Well, just like main line then.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I mean,
do you still want to make
no
a video
complaints.
essay on it?
I still think we could do a video essay on it, because I think it'd be really interesting to dive into like the symbolism.
Yeah.
And like comparing it to other works of literature.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me, unless you had anything else.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. So like I said, we got some exciting stuff coming up. We got Jacob Edgar's coming on pretty soon. And then after that, we had talked about doing some like Nightwing related stuff.
Yeah, I want to do a couple of different things. I know like there are some issues of Nightwing where Bruce is Nightwing. I also know that
you mean where Robin or not when Nightwing is Batman? You mean?
No, Bruce is Nightwing.
Oh yeah, I haven't read those. I forgot that was a thing. But
but we are gonna also do some coverage of where like Dick Grayson is Batman.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So that'll be fun, because I am so absolutely enthralled by the idea of Damian Wayne being Dick Grayson's Robin, and the way that Dick Grayson was Batman's Robin, and like Damian Wayne is obviously like Bruce's son, but like having that relationship that Dick had with Bruce, like with Dick, like I'm so like I've only heard good things, and for some reason my TikTok is no longer just like cool anime stuff and politics. Now it's like Bat Fam stuff, specifically like Bat Fam. Like it's very little like actually Batman stuff. It's a lot of Dick Grayson content, Jason Todd content. For some reason I was getting like a god awful amount of Tim Drake videos that I did not ask for. I have no issues with Tim Drake, but I know the least about him. Like, he's just a tech guy to me who's a little queer, which great, same. But I wasn't like hungry for
for Tim Drake.
Yeah, I wasn't hungry for content, for like Tim Drake content.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah, it'd be good. But yeah, so what did you guys think of this? If you comment on this, we will read it on the show, and then we'll react to it. So if you guys want to comment and tell us your opinions on it, we'll totally be down to read it in future episodes. So yeah, so this has been a lot of fun. Getting through the Court of Night of Owls and delving into that. But yeah. So you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, join us in the cave next time.
Yeah, we will come up with an outro eventually.
Oh, I was trying